What's going on, VidLifters? Welcome back to another show. It's Tuesday night. It's 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, and we are live. And I don't know why I'm talking like I'm on the radio. What do I think I am? Howard Stern? No, I'm not. At any rate, it is another VidLift show. We have got two more videos for everybody to take a look at. We're going to look at a 1-minute clip of each of these videos, and we're going to talk about what we like about it. And then we're going to offer some suggestions of what we might have done differently. Now, we've got a couple of good ones tonight, so we may have stumped the Four Horsemen. Can you imagine that? Stumping the Four Horsemen. I may have some extra sound effects coming from the audience. I do apologize for that. I am not alone. I am, however, full-time on the road. We are finally, we've pulled away from the house. We've driven away, like really away. Like yeah. Last time you saw me, I could drive back to the house and stare at it. That was just awkward. At any rate, here we are. We are at our new destination. You know, I really shouldn't tell people where I am, should I? No, I'm in California. Oh, oops. I'm so sorry. All right. So let's get this show rolling, shall we? Let's introduce some of our cast. First up, I want to introduce you all to somebody that I went to different dimensions to find this person. This person is not from this multiverse. This person is from another multiverse. This is Captain Kirk from the Mirror Universe. Hi there, Captain Kirk.
Really? No hair? And you went with Kirk?
Yellow shirt, goatee, Mirror Universe, sir.
Oh, well, I was hoping for Picard, but I'll take it. Hey, I'm Donovan from RV on the Wayside. I can't be that cool anyway. I haven't made a video in a month, and I've been busy. I got a new puppy. Yeah, so I just, that's always a good thing, right? Get a new puppy, and
will we see a video of that?
Soaks up your whole life. It's a 5-year-old. Her name is Lucy, and she's a rescue. I think she's actually 8 years old. I don't think they told the truth on the age, but here she is, just because you all want to see her. Cute little baby.
Yes, all fur babies are adorable.
So that's what I've been up to.
All right. Well, without further ado, I would like to introduce you all to the one, the only, Andy from The Office.
How'd you know it was me? Well, I was glad to see Lucy. That was cool. She's precious. So since I last saw you guys, we've had a band concert. We've had a church Christmas play. We're about to have a church musical, and I'm going to play trombone. And I hadn't played trombone in a long time. I normally play keyboard. So yeah, just like that. I got to get these lip muscles working again. I'm hoping my face doesn't fall off or anything, but I'm looking forward to it. That's this weekend.
All right. Well, that is awesome. I know you were busy. You were so busy you had to cancel it. Was that the first time you guys canceled last night?
We've never canceled before, and we said, man, we just got too much going on. Let's call it a day.
It's tough to do that, isn't it? To make that call. It's like you get so in the routine and then having to jump ship. It's tough, but you know what? It's healthy. It's good. And I know you guys, you got a lot going on. I'm hoping to see more of the suit with the tie.
Lazy.
I don't know. He put the suit and tie on. I wouldn't do that, and I'm lazy.
Fancy. I should wear that on a Tuesday night, I think.
All right, and next up, we have got Burt Reynolds from Celebrity Jeopardy. Give it up for this guy.
That's so funny. Hey, thank you for the introduction. I sure do appreciate that. That's awful nice. It's great to be here with the three horseless heads. I'm excited tonight. We have two great videos that we're going to review, and I'm down here at the Panhandle Pioneer Settlement in Florida, and I'm telling you what, we just had breakfast with Santa Claus, and we had a very good turnout. A lot of people came out and sat on Santa Claus's lap and talked about all the good things they've done all year long and what presents they wanted. I'm just not sure if they were actually telling the truth, but they did sit on Santa Claus's lap, not saying anything. It was a pretty exciting day. The parents had pancakes and sausage for breakfast, and then later on in the evening we had our old-fashioned Christmas where all the cabins were decorated with their fireplaces lit, lanterns lit, candles lit. Old-fashioned Christmas. Not a whole lot of Christmas lights, and we had carolers and we cooked marshmallows. It was a hoot. Anyway, had a good time. I hope to get it on a video, but who knows? We'll get a video out sooner or later. I'm a little bit like Donovan. I don't know. I fell into some kind of hole. But anyway, it's an exciting night. We got some great videos to see, and I'm looking forward to looking at them.
Hey, just to be clear, Mr. Turtle, did you say that you just finished breakfast? Because I feel like that's a late breakfast. I mean, I'll eat breakfast anytime. Not that there's anything wrong with that. All right.
Well, I did say just, and maybe I should clarify. It was Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. We had Christmas breakfast with Santa Claus. So,
and that went till just now? That's a long one.
Well, it was a heck of a breakfast.
Wow.
When did you want to become a McGuire? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What?
What's wrong with you?
I wish. Well, I'll tell you what. Okay. Now that you've brought that up, McGuire's on Tires is a very wholesome, just wonderful family. And anybody in the right mind would want to be a part of that. Because I tell you what, if I wasn't old, I'd take in Sophie. I'd take her in as a daughter. I would. The other three, I don't know. They're old.
I don't know. I'd adopt Scott as a son.
As long as
you like to work out a trade or a draft system.
Oh my goodness. Maybe we should roll a video before this goes too off the rails.
Yeah, it's like
wait, I have another announcement.
Oh.
I got an early Christmas present. Jody got us a piece of land in Scotland. I'm now Lord Donovan.
Oh, okay. I thought you was going to say you was going to make a video.
nothing that exciting.
All right. Let's roll our first video. You know, I'm just going to roll it and we'll talk about it after.
In San Antonio, Texas lies an urban oasis, the San Antonio Botanical Garden. With 38 acres of beautiful plants, exhibits, and hiking trails to explore, the Botanical Garden has something for everyone. Come join us if you want to learn about ticket pricing, the Frida Kahlo exhibit, and what to expect before you visit the Botanical Garden in San Antonio. The San Antonio Botanical Garden opens daily from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. General admission tickets are $15 for adults, and children ages 3 to 13 is $12. Children under the age of 3 get in for free. Once you enter, you're surrounded by beautiful flowers and a relaxing sound of water. The Botanical Garden is a great way to spend outdoors, and you almost forget you're in San Antonio.
All right, and I think I might have messed up the order which everybody's supposed to be sitting. Oh well. You all right with going first, Lord Donovan? All right. Take it away. Let us know what you thought.
I don't think I'm going to get used to that. I just thought it was funny. Let's see. So, first of all, I felt like I was watching an actual like local cable commercial. It was that well put together. I really felt like that's what I was watching. Love the slow pans. I don't know if those were Ken Burns moves or what, but the slow panning on each scene was really nice. Like the music, the voiceover, lots of inflection. That's a strong voice acting right there. I liked it. the text with the prices. You had the black lettering, but you had a dark background and it disappeared when it got to that scene. So whenever anybody adds text, always try to think of what is going to be there. And if it doesn't fit that one, you're going to have to change your plan because you want to make sure people can read it. The good news is you read it off so well, if they never even saw it, it won't matter. What else? Intro videos, not my favorite, but I gotta tell you, if you're gonna do one, that was classy. I love the text where the colors change, where the background pops in and pops out. That was nice and could have been a little quicker for me. Even I'm a big fan of like 8-second intro videos, but hey, this one was decent. Music was good. Fit the scenes really good. What do you think, Scott?
I like this one. I like it kept moving. I liked the changes kept happening. I liked the narration, the great use of B-roll. I think my two suggestions would be your presence as a narrator, Nick. I think was fantastic. I'd like to see you talking. At some point in the video, you said something was your favorite. That's the kind of thing that if I'm looking in your eyes and you tell me, man, that was my favorite, I want it to be my favorite too. But if I just hear a narrator say it, that's just another word. But I think it'd be cool to get to see you talk about these cool things. It was a lot of B-roll watching the action happen. It'd be cool if you could take the camera and take us along to experience the action with you, as opposed to watching you enjoy the action. So that's one piece of feedback. The other, I did want to tag on what Donovan said. I had no idea there was even text. I didn't realize there was text till Donovan said it just now. So definitely might want to look at the color you're using. But my other thing was there was one clip you had that had its own sound. It was the water sound, and it was really cool. But we're going along, and then it abruptly entered. And then the clip finished and the sound abruptly stopped. I think I'd have that sound bleed over. I'd take the sound from the clip and let it start a little before and let it end a little after. Fade the water in and then let us see it. And then when you go to the next clip, fade the water back out. And that way it's not quite as abrupt and it gives us some anticipation. It takes us into the scene instead of just jerking us there. But really, I agree with Donovan. It felt like it was a commercial. Well done.
Well, thank you, Scott. That was very well said. I appreciate that. And Donovan, what? You got ears? I'm not even talking to you, Lord Donovan. You know, I watched the clip 3 times, and every time I watched it, I was like, well, I don't know what to say. It's perfect. It's fine. It's interesting. I watched the whole video, same thing. But I remember what Scott said. He said, if people submit a video, you got to say something about it. So I guess I got to say something about it. I thought the video was very good, and Donovan and Scott both talked about some of the good qualities of the video. I'm like Donovan. I'm not necessarily excited about intros for the channel. I think there's other ways that you can get your brand out there and still keep the story going. But it was short, it was sweet, and it was interesting. Videos about San Antonio Botanical Garden. The search word, there's about 17.7 thousand videos that you're trying to compete with. And obviously they did fairly well. I think they have 333 views or whatever. So it's something that people do look for. But every time you make a video about a place or a subject, you're competing with other people to rank your videos. So you really want to come out with a strong hook so that people go, I want to watch that. So thumbnail and hook. So I'm sort of keying in on thumbnail and hook. The thumbnail was sort of bland. I mean, it was just a picture of the botanical garden, and it's not really drawing people in. I mean, it's pretty, it looks nice. The title's pretty much, the botanical garden. So I think there could be a little room for improvement there with the hook and the the thumbnail. But the hook was good enough that it explained exactly what you're going to see in the video. It said, we're going to talk about this, this, and this, and this. And he does in the video. So I thought it was good in that respect, but it's not intriguing. It's not like, oh, I want to go there for whatever reason. And I think sometimes what sets you apart from another video is that awe factor, that, oh, not the same old thing, but something different, something exciting that maybe you don't necessarily think about when you search for it. But anyway, I think I'll leave the rest for the round robin.
Thanks, y'all, for talking for a moment on that. Those are some really great tips. This one is a bit hard for me to critique because I feel like I know Nick so well. Mr.S. Travel Quest and I go back pretty much hand in hand to when we both first started. He was the first person to leave a comment on a Texas family camping video, and we've just been kind of good friends ever since, always bouncing ideas off of each other. We still haven't ever met. I just think that's crazy. We live so close and we hit so many places. I'm always recommending. The first time somebody saw me in Tanya and recognized us at a state park, and I was like, really? You like our stuff? I'm like, you should watch Mr.S. Travel Quest. And I feel like our videos, especially the Texas state parks, they go hand in hand. Like if you want to go to a Texas state park, watch a Texas family camping and a Mr.S. Travel Quest about that same park, and you're going to be really prepared for that park. He does such a great job with the trails and everything like that. This one was a little bit out of his norm. And when I asked him, it's like, hey man, can we check out one of your videos? Because by the way, we don't have enough submissions. So for the rest of you watching, please submit. I had to reach out to my friend and ask for help. Email vidliftinfo@gmail.com with the video you'd like us to review, so we don't have to go ask our friends. But I'm glad that I did, because this is actually a great opportunity for Mr.S. Travel Quest to get a little bit more exposure. And I'm really glad that we're looking at this, because you guys all presented some stuff that is brilliant. Like, I totally agree, like what Scott was saying about seeing his face. I've seen Nick's face before. I love their videos where him and Ruth, his wife, will sit down and they'll talk to the camera and review their favorite parks of the year. So they're used to doing it. It's just, it seems like when he does the state parks, he doesn't ever like walk and talk or things like that. And that's a great idea, Scott. I think that would help make that connection and make it more personable. He's doing an excellent job. He's always showing how well these places are to visit. I do think that and I've been in San Antonio long enough to say this, San Antonio is a very tough market on various levels. Anybody that's not from San Antonio wants to go see the Alamo. That's all they can think about. There's so many other things they could see, but they don't ever take the time to really research those things. So it's hard to present to those people, here's another option of something you should look at. People that are in San Antonio, they already know about all this stuff, and sometimes they're a little arrogant about it, and they're like, I already know about that. I don't need to go there. So it's a tough market to break. I saw that from the restaurant perspective as well. I helped open Chipotle's there, and they were very rough on Chipotle's, as it was not real Mexican food, according to them. I would offer to buy an entire family their meal at Chipotle if they just try it. I'm like, nope, you don't have enchiladas. Bye. Anyway, that's a tangent that doesn't need to be gone off to. So let's do the round table here. Well, look, you were worried about dead air before the show started, Lord Donovan. I figured I'd talk a little bit, fill some of the dead air. But anyway, let's take a look at this. And obviously, I think we all need to look at the text, because apparently a lot of people, even in the chat, missed the text. So let's see if we can find it.
In San Antonio, Texas lies an urban oasis, the San Antonio Botanical Garden. With 38 acres of beautiful plants, exhibits, and hiking trails to explore, the Botanical Garden has something for everyone. Come join us if you want to learn about ticket pricing, the Frida Kahlo exhibit, and what to expect before you visit the Botanical Garden in San Antonio. The San Antonio Botanical Garden opens daily from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. General admission tickets are $15 for adults, and children ages 3 to 13 is $12. Children under the age of 3 get in for free. Once you enter, you're surrounded by beautiful flowers and a relaxing sound of water. The Botanical Garden is a great way to spend outdoors, and you almost forget you're in San Antonio.
All right. That was great. And I did see it. Oh, yes. Scott, Mr. Trombone Player.
I noticed that text, but I didn't even read it because to me it was a heading of what he was talking about. So I didn't even pay attention. So that time I looked and I saw it. What would have made my eye pay a little more attention to it, I think maybe a not super loud sound effect, swoosh, as it came in, just to catch my attention.
I have some comments. First of all, he was the first one to ever comment on your video, Dave. How old is this guy? The thumbnail. I think we got a comment in the chat for that one. Here's a hook. Do you like botanical gardens? If you're gonna love this one. I thought just say smell this. Botanical gardens. I thought that's, I don't know, maybe that doesn't work for video, but I think it's funny.
Dave's point about the Alamo, you could bring that in somehow. I don't know how you'd word it, but something like, we went looking for the Alamo, but found this instead, and we're so glad we did. I mean, that's a lot of words, but something like that.
So the water thing, Scott kind of mentioned it, and something this was a note for later, but when you started talking about water, I would have rotated those, do what Scott said, have the water start before you get to that sentence, show the scene with the water going and the sound of the water still going when you talk about the water, and then let it fade off as you move on to the next kind of thing. And that way it'll just feel more like they're there, right? Because you say water and there's the water. And then the one other thing I had extra was when you cut to an intro video, and this is for everybody on everything you do, a great way to pick up the excitement of your video is the minute your voiceover or your hook is done, the video cuts right instantly. Don't even let a second go beyond it, and it gets them excited faster. So it's just something else to think about when if you're going to do intro videos, make it pop in there like as soon as he finished that last syllable, boom. Don't even show any more scenery, just cut right to it. And that'll make it feel more exciting.
I did like how you said something along the lines that if you're looking for this, then you're going to find it, or we're going to tell you. And then you went into the intro video. It made me want to stay tuned because you told me what you were going to tell me. I like that. I think I'm with Donovan that if you're going to do it, I think yours is a great one. I'm not a fan of them either. I mean, I went back and looked. It's 10 seconds long. That's a lot of time, a lot of opportunity to give somebody to click off. I mean, your channel's they say videolytics, your analytics of your video. Maybe people aren't clicking off your video, but once I've seen your video one time, I've seen that thing. Maybe just put it in double speed and then let the music stay the same, but 5 seconds even, because the graphics are on the screen so long that I don't think it would be too fast if you did that.
As long as we hear the snap at the end.
I did like
me,
at the end.
I like the snap. I like the snap. That was cool.
It's almost like a very classy pattern interrupt.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
back to the video.
if you really get into the video analytics, what was that word, Scott? Videolytics. I think with an adventure, regardless of what it is, you have to sell it. There has to be emotion for people to want to go. And it's like Donovan said, when you say water, you see water, and that builds an emotion. And so many things are tied to emotion. And I was just looking at some video creator, and he was talking about one of the most important things is emotion. You've got to show that on screen so that people desire to go there. And the more you can hook that and keep it going is better. If you look at one of the VRBO commercials, they don't talk about a swimming pool or a room or anything about the place, they talk about the emotion that that place creates. And I think that if you can capture that in an adventure video, you can capture people and they want to go because they want to feel those same feelings.
Can I, Steve, I'm going to take that.
No.
It's happening. There's, looks like there's 76 people watching right now, and there's 4 of us here. So that's 80 people. I'm going to
Yes.
challenge all 80 of us in a video coming up soon, sometime in the next month, or we'll give Donovan some grace, next 6 months for Donovan. Sometime in the next little bit, do something like what VRBO does. There's just something like, you see this place, this is where granddaughter beat grandfather in checkers. See if you can incorporate something like that, because that's what people are tuning in for. They want to see people. They want to see human connection. That's what we're looking for, even through a screen.
Well, I do believe, Scott, you show that in your videos. I see a lot of daddy-daughter emotions. You know, you're walking, you're talking, and things like that. I think that's very good, and I think that's one of the ways to show emotion in an adventure. And in this video, I see a lot of his wife walking by herself. And I am sure she was not there by herself, but I know what was happening. He was videoing her. At some point, you might have to throw a tripod up and video the 2 of you walking, or with like a vlog style, and video the 2 of you, because 2 people in a park like that is more emotion than just one person seeing it all alone.
He's got a nice gimbal with a little tripod on the bottom. I think he's done that before, set it down on the sidewalk and like walk towards it. But you're right. I mean, his wife, Ruth, is the one that you saw the most in the video walking around.
Yeah.
And it probably, you're right. It's a good idea, you know, show them walking and pointing and making.
Sure. And then that way you can show emotion. You can show the 2 of them maybe talking, even if it's not, you don't hear it, but you see the 2. And I don't know. I just think that's a way you can show emotion, and that sort of sets it apart from other videos. Although the video is doing well. I mean, you know, 333 views. I can go with that.
I liked Wandering Fun was making out a couple points, things we didn't even catch. This is what I love about you guys in the comments adding things to our show, because we didn't catch the run-on sentence there. That was great. What did our buddy Matt say? I can't read it. I'm blind.
He said it was great. Very well done. He wants to hire the guy so he can do his voiceover.
That was an earlier comment, but Matt did indeed say that.
He did say Nick did such a good job at voiceover. He'd love to have him help him out. A few shots looked overexposed. Either play with the camera settings or color match in post.
Did you catch that, David?
I'm making food.
That some things were overexposed. No. I think I've just come to expect that Nick's videos are perfect, and I don't dig too deep on them.
How many nice things has he said about your videos? That's what I'm trying to figure out at this point in the game.
Well, I mean, I thought it was a very good video. I mean, I thought it was, you know, everything. It was good.
When I asked him, I said, you know, which one would you like us to look at? He said, why don't you pick this one, because compared to the other ones, it didn't perform as well.
I did notice that.
I think that, you know, like Steve was saying earlier, the fact that the thumbnail does feel a little flat. It's not quite as vibrant as maybe some of the other ones. It probably could use, I don't know, maybe it needs Nick's face looking surprised on the front, like, oh, a botanical garden.
Hey, I'm new to all this. What's FOMO?
Foam? What? Oh,
It's a packing material.
No, not that. What is that?
Fear of missing out.
Is it really?
I teach middle school. They talk like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Matt's in middle school?
The other day, Sophie wanted us to know that. Oh, I had a meeting. She said, "Dad, is your meeting online or is it IRL?"
That was TLDR.
I don't know
no
what
picking
RL
on Matt
is.
when he's not here to defend himself, even if he does have a great haircut.
Oh, shoot.
Or when he sneaks into Texas unannounced.
Yes.
Poof, I'm here in Texas.
All right, we ready for the next one?
You know what? They're scared. I don't think they should be scared. I've got nice things to say. I do. I really do. Are you ready? Everybody ready? Buckle up.
Hi everybody, we're on our way to the Hershey RV show.
But first, a quick stop at another one of our New York State parks, Watkins Glen.
We're going to take a little hike up the Gorge Trail.
Stay tuned.
Watkins Glen opened for tourism in 1863 as a privately owned resort. It was purchased by the state in 1906 and managed by the New York State Parks Finger Lake region since 1924.
Located at the tip of Seneca Lake, one of the 11 Finger Lakes, the area was formed by the glaciers. The Glen Creek collects hillside water, which then descends 400 feet past 200-foot cliffs. There are 19 waterfalls in total along the trail. This water travels through the Finger Lakes to Lake Ontario, to the St. Lawrence Seaway, and ends in the Atlantic Ocean.
All right. Well, we are going to turn back time and go backwards through time. Or, well, at least we're going to go backwards on the clock. That would be Mr. Steve Turtle has got something to say. And so he mutes his microphone.
Hold
Okay, now I got it. I got it.
Hold on. You just made me realize Donovan is Charlie Brown.
Oh!
Look at him with that shirt. He's Charlie Brown. Good job, little Donovan. All right. Yep. Draw the squiggly marks on that shirt, sir.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, my goodness. Now I forgot what I was going to say. I was all wound up. Okay. I thought the hook was a little weak. I don't think it came out and said something about watch my video. There are 1.35 million videos that they're competing with for somebody to come out and watch it. So it's got to be strong. What's wrong with him? Oh my goodness. What? Oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say. What is that? You can you see it? It's terrible.
That's Charlie Brown's hair colic. I just drew it in.
Oh, okay. All right. I got it. Anyway, they're competing with 1.35 million videos based on Gorge Trail search criteria. Now you could go and look at all the other tags and all that good stuff, but it's a lot of videos on Watkins Glen. I think that Judy should have went with another direction. Judy and Ron, I think they should have went with another direction. She states it later on in the video. She says, and this is Judy's words, not my words. She says, "I'm fat and out of shape." That is a hook. But seriously, everybody's videos is about Watkins Glen and the waterfalls and the great views, and nobody talks about how hard it is to climb that thing. There's a 400-foot deep gorge and 832 stone steps. Make a point of that. Make that your video, and you can still talk about the other stuff, but I think that's a great hook. Later on, she says something about she was lapped by a 70-year-old. But that's all I'm going to talk about for right now.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to share my picture. I just downloaded a picture of Charlie Brown, and VidLift is set up different than my StreamYard, so I don't know how to do it. Just trust me, you don't look like him. He's way cuter. Yeah. So I'm with Steve on. Oh, here it comes. Okay, there it is. Are you sharing my picture? How'd you do that? Hold on, let's see. I'm looking. Yeah, Charlie Brown wins. He's way better. Sorry that happened. So I'm with Steve that I think I would have gone a little more creative on the intro, and I think probably this one I would have plopped it down in the middle of the action somewhere, or somewhere in Watkins Glen, one of those beautiful, like standing in front of the waterfall, and not like an intro like, hey, we're here at Watkins Glen and here's what we're going to see today, but more like, why are you so wet? What in the world? We didn't think we were going to get wet standing here, and then cut, and then come back and we'll see why you got wet, or something like that. So give us a reason to want to watch a few more seconds. But doggone it, I got distracted when we started talking about Charlie Brown. I can't. Let's see. Oh, when you've got water, music, and narration, all three happening at the same time, the water and music are teaming up and covering up the narration. So they've got to come down a little bit more and the voice come up just a little bit more. I think other than that, just a random, just an seemingly unrelated comment. I thought Watkins Glen was a racetrack. So I kept looking for the racetrack and I never saw, I didn't know there were waterfalls up there at the racetrack. Just me. Lord Charlie Brown?
Why, yes, Full Tide Dream. Scott does look a little bit like Peppermint Patty.
I could see that. A little ambiguous, isn't he, she?
Yeah, she's probably more masculine than you. So so sorry. This is not good to have sexist jokes on a very nice channel. So sound, I like the nature sounds. Music was great. I'm kind of with Scott. I kind of wish they were a little more balanced differently, but I did like them. Again, intro is not my thing, but you guys got it in there. And you get your subscribe in early, so I understand why you do it. So some things that I thought would have helped is, as you're showing these different scenes of the waterfall and the cliffs and all that, maybe throw a couple Ken Burns, some zoom or panning moments instead of them just like sitting stills. Just slight movements. They don't have to be big. And then when you change from, like, when you started talking about one thing and you switched over to the water amount, maybe have a transition in there, so we felt the change that you were about to make. And I don't know what it would be, but some kind of transition exact, so you knew you were shifting gears. I don't know if I've even talked about that, but that's a way to get people like, oh, what's going to happen here, because you don't use them very often. So that's a way to draw them back in, just by adding an interesting transition when you get ready to shift what you're going to say. Yeah, I think that's about it. I wonder what Pigpen has to say.
I'm more of a Linus. I love my blankets. What's the matter, Steve Turtle? Do you forget who all the Peanuts characters are? Yeah, maybe the piano player. No, that's the real Scott McGuire's, the little piano player that Lucy's in love with. Yeah, there we go. I've pieced it all together now. So this video, we've reviewed them before, and first things first, look, don't listen to these other guys. I loved your intro. I thought your intro made a huge improvement over what I remember from y'all putting out in the past. I love intros. These guys, though, they represent a lot of the other people that watch YouTube, and unfortunately, I hate to say this, unfortunately, they're right. People are like clicking off when they see the intros. I do not like that. That makes me very angry, because I love the intros. The fact that y'all just got Nick to like, yeah, I'm going to change my intro, and I'm like, it irks me deep down inside from the artistic side that we are bending ourselves for the masses. I can't stand that, but they've got a point. If we want to reach more people, we have to bend to the masses, or we can make the art that we want to make. It's up to you. That is totally your decision. A lot of mine is the art I want to make. It doesn't make me any money, but I still had fun making it. So you take that as you please. I really enjoyed your intro. The one thing that just popped out at me, and I'm pretty sure Scott already covered it, but it was just volume. The piano music was very nice, but the piano music at the same time as the voiceover, the levels were about matched, and it made it a little hard to hear. So I would have just brought the piano down a little bit and raised the voiceover a little bit, and I think that it would have blended a lot better. That'd be probably a pretty easy one to do. If y'all want to get more advanced, you could start looking into color grading. Just be careful about what your teeth look like. So I just, looking around at the waterfall and stuff like that, I know that there's more color that'll pop out if you guys do start exploring color grading. So don't feel intimidated by it. If you're not happy with how it looks, I went knowing that I should start playing with it well over a year. And it's just like, it's too much for me to even dabble in it. And then once it's like, okay, I'm going to start getting my feet wet. And then I got myself comfortable where it's at. And I probably have yellow teeth on every video, but I'm okay with that because that's my video. I made what I wanted to make. Anyway, let's take another look at this video and let's enjoy that intro and not worry about everybody else.
Hi everybody, we're on our way to the Hershey RV show.
But first, a quick stop at another one of our New York State parks, Watkins Glen.
We're going to take a little hike up the Gorge Trail.
Stay tuned.
Watkins Glen opened for tourism in 1863 as a privately owned resort. It was purchased by the state in 1906 and managed by the New York State Parks Finger Lake region since 1924.
Located at the tip of Seneca Lake, one of the 11 Finger Lakes, the area was formed by the glaciers. The Glen Creek collects hillside water, which then descends 400 feet past 200-foot cliffs. There are 19 waterfalls in total along the trail. This water travels through the Finger Lakes to Lake Ontario, to the St. Lawrence Seaway, and ends in the Atlantic Ocean.
All right. Anybody have anything else to add second time around other than it looks beautiful. I'd like to go visit there.
I talked about a different idea for the very beginning, the hook. What I did like about it was you gave us humanity. The first thing you said was, we're on our way to the Tampa RV show, but we stopped here. I like that a lot. You're giving us story. And I think I would dig a little deeper into that. Why is this such a big deal that we stop here? So maybe give us a little bit more about maybe start the video somewhere early in the video. You're in the RV driving and you're on your way there. Hey, it says here that if we go to Watkins Glen, we'll see maybe set it up a little bit what you're going to see. But I really did like that. And I said the word humanity, human element. I like that human element you put in there.
You're a music teacher. It's okay. English isn't your thing.
You need to finish cleaning your head before you speak.
OCD.
So back to intros. I mean, Marvel does one, right? But it's slightly different every time. So maybe if intros are just a little different each time, or maybe you put a couple scenes, do something with what you're about to show in your intro, maybe those disappear. So I'm not saying intros are never good. Don't ever get that impression. And I totally love what David said about, it's interfering with our art just to try to get people to watch longer and more people to watch. But at the same time, you might be able to use your intro to not only mention your channel, but to move the story along too. It all depends on how long you want to spend on it and how creative you want to be.
I wonder if you could set up that file where you've got your intro. I wonder if you could set it up where it really is just plug and play. All right, I'm going to grab a food clip from this week's video. I'm going to grab an exploration clip and just plug them in. And then that becomes your intro, and it really is a preview of what's about to happen. That's good, Lord Charlie B.
Yeah. Keep your same wording and all that kind of stuff, but just change it so that it's moving. That's what, Marvel does that a lot. They put little scenes from the things you might see here coming up, and a lot of times hidden in those pictures. So it was just a thought.
No, I agree with David. I think it depends on what your purpose is with your video. Do you want views? Do you want to express yourself? It just depends what you want out of your videos. But I do know that more people click through intros than not. But if you look at your, what did you call it, Scott? Videolytics. Yeah, if you look at your videolytics, that first 30 seconds, if people are staying with you, well, it's fine. Leave it alone. Your community is okay with that. But if it's a big drop, then, maybe you need to doctor on it and do something different. If you're looking for views, if you aren't looking for views and you're just expressing yourself and, trying to come up with, what you think is a good video, there's nothing wrong with it. Just do it. And who is this Ken Burns guy?
He's a baseball player. There's a documentary about him.
Well, what is his effect? Is it like a curveball or what?
Or he might have been Lincoln's vice president, Ken Burns Lincoln. Is that the one?
No.
If somebody doesn't know who Ken Burns is, please tell us in the comments at this point. I'd be glad
I just hear a lot about Ken Burns' effect. What's his effect?
His effect is to take a still image and you zooming in and out or panning left and right on it like it's a video, but it's actually just a still image. And then we've expanded that whole thing to while you're watching a video to see the zooming in and out of that. That whole movement of a simple image or a simple frame, how you move in and out of that image or left and right, up and down, that's all from him. He's the one that designed it.
Oh, he did not make it. He didn't.
Oh, that just burns me up.
That's why it's his name on them. That's why he invented that.
Oh no, he didn't invent that.
That just burns me up.
I just looked up Ken Burns, and he's not really a person. He is literally just Richard Branson with a dark wig on.
Is he the guy in the wheelchair that talks funny?
Oh my goodness.
No, I don't know.
Right. There were a couple of shots in this one with Full-Time Dream that were intended to be pans. Is that the right? I never used the right word. Moving across, but they were a little jerky to the side or going up. And you know me, it made me a little nauseated. That's enough. If I'm watching the video and not studying it, that's enough to make me go, okay, I'm going to throw up, or I've got to keep going. So that would be a moment where I would skip forward. I can't remember if you guys have a gimbal. I think you do have a gimbal. I think I remember seeing that. Maybe it didn't make the trip to the waterfall that day. Do you guys have any suggestions? If you find yourself with your GoPro at the waterfall and you don't have a gimbal, any suggestions on how you can make that a smooth shot?
Well, first off, I find it terrible that you'd watch a video and say it made you throw up. That's a critique right there. Yeah,
I'm starting to
Scott's
wonder.
Not the best at helping people, but he's really good at the insults.
David, constructive criticism. Go ahead.
Constructive. Oh, I was just going to say, I was starting to wonder if the reason that Sophie didn't go on the zip line is because she had to babysit her dad because he was going to throw up on the zip line.
There are techniques. There are techniques without a gimbal to video panning shots and zooming shots, things like that. You got to hold it tight to your chest, try not to wiggle, and you pan with your body and not move the camera. So there's ways that you can get around that, but it's best thing to do is get a gimbal.
So aside from all this making Scott nausea, because how many times do we have to talk about it? Every video. Just the other thing you can do, and I'm saying this because the more I watch your video and these clips, the more excited I get about it. And it has nothing to do with how nice Matt is, down below. But I was thinking when you did the close up on the waterfall, I would have done a part where you weren't talking and have a sound of just the water crashing and the loudness of that water, because that just, again, that pumps people up. We're working the emotional level for some reason today, but maybe I'm just in that mode. But you could have used that one moment to just make people feel like they were right there and just crank up some water sound like it's just pouring down there. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of some more suggestions, but I mean, I got to be honest with you. When you go to Full-Time Dream, you know you're going to learn about stuff you didn't know. The Finger Lakes. What are you kidding me? This goes clear to the Atlantic Ocean? Is that what they said, Atlantic?
Yes.
Dude, I had no clue.
All water goes to Atlantic Ocean.
Not finger breaks, David. Lakes. Gosh, it's so literal.
Oh, that just burns me up. That just burns me up.
Stop touching that.
Oh,
this has helped a lot.
This is the first video in quite a while that dropped into the 46 retention. Huh. Do you know what time it did that? That would have been interesting to look at.
They say it was sort of a spur of the moment. Of course, they were going to Hershey Park, and then all of a sudden they said, hey, let's stop by there. Check it out. Shoot some footage. It's
Lucy
an awesome...
says she loves the intro. Lots of energy. And I like Lucy. She's got the same name as my dog. It's true. It wasn't the reason why I named her that, but it's very sweet.
No, Donovan, we don't compare viewers to dogs. That is not how this works.
No, but we tell them their videos make us want to.
Correct. That's what.
Okay, sorry. I got to learn the rules.
Yes. Roy's got it right there. Prop the camera on her head. Hold still, baby. Just turn.
Just turn.
Remember, you can always put it on you.
Stop
and then just
moving.
your upper body. We've talked about that in some of our other videos. If you don't have a gimbal, there's ways to get around that so that you can use about anything to do this. I've seen people use a pop can, lay a pop can on a ledge, put their phone on it, and then just rotate it on the balance point. And I thought that was a great idea.
What kind of can?
I was wondering that too.
He didn't say Coke can. I would say soda can.
What's a pop?
Can?
I'm from Illinois. I'm sorry, everybody.
Are you trying to say pumpkin?
You know what would be a little bit wider than a pop can and a little bit more stable? Probably a tub of Duke's mayonnaise.
Oh, geez.
It's good for so many things.
Or a bowling ball.
So it sucks that your stuff went corrupt on your card. I'm really sorry to hear that.
That's never good.
But you salvaged it incredibly well. I mean, the fact that you can't do the video, that's great.
Yes, the pace of your shots were wonderful. I have to agree with Matt. Matter of fact, they were so good, I didn't even write it down. I was just like, well, that's what you want to do. Keep popping them in. Show them different angles. I loved it. So,
and the great thing about tonight is we didn't have any driving videos.
I would have been nauseated.
Who drives in your family? It's what I want to know.
I do. I can't be a passenger. I just can't do it.
And y'all see this? Now that we've sold the house, I can afford a hairdresser and makeup for my YouTube shows.
I don't know if that worked.
If that's what it looks like after hair and makeup, you might need a new person.
Oh, no. I said I should fire you.
Let's see. What else? Day one adventures. Like to see more colors punched up. I see. A little more color. Yeah, that whole colorizing thing is becoming very popular lately.
Wandering Fun. Yeah, that's cool. That is a lot more work, but that is
And that's
cool.
what I said. There can be added time to do those things.
Wandering Fun. This is my opinion, is if you're going to use one, it needs to be like 2 to 3 seconds. Go find a couple of channels and see if you can find that they're using just 2 to 3 seconds. Because I feel like if you do more than that, the first time I see your video, that's cool to see. But every time I see your video after that, when you're watching Netflix now, when you get to the show's intro, you've always got the option for skip intro, because that's the generation we're living in now. We don't want to see that. We've already seen it. So super short if you do it.
And keep in mind, we've seen videos where people just, matter of fact, I think Damon's one of them from Day One Adventures. He just slides it in and slides it out right while he's telling the story. Just pops in there and disappears, and you let them know where they're at in case they didn't look down, or they found you by chance or luck. I mean, you can still pop it in there without having to make a big to-do, maybe.
Yes, what Donovan said. Yes.
Yes, what Steve Turtle said.
You caught that, David. You're pretty good.
Well, a lot of my videos do that as well. It's right at the beginning and right at the end. So what I've done is I've tried to do a better job in my first 30 seconds, 1 minute, 1 minute 30, and 2 minutes. I make at 25 seconds, I start something new so that at 30 seconds, you're not going to click off. At 58 seconds, I'll start something new so that at 1 minute, you're not going to click off. I do that all the way through 2 minutes. And then by 2 minutes, I've got you hooked. You're going to keep watching. And then at the very end, our outros, we've tried a couple of outros that go like this, and now it's done. That was it. You missed it. You didn't even see it happen. There was one where Carrie said, hey, you should check out this video. And that was it. There was one where we said, and that was it. And that was it. And we're noticing that our retention, we get to the end and it does this. There's no room for it to drop off. Just experiment with those.
What's funny is I usually have my biggest punchline in some of my videos at the very last, right before I shut off the video. And sometimes people cut it off right before because they think it's almost over. And I try not to let them know it's almost over, but they're watching the clock, right? And I can't beat that. So they lose the best punchline of some of my funnier videos because I leave that right at the end and I just leave them laughing and cut it off. And I notice that I get a tiny little dip right before the punchline. Sometimes that doesn't work either. I don't know how you win.
That's a good point, because as soon as you say, that's it, I'm done, we've finished, to wrap up, people check out. Those words,
and I don't even say that, and that happens.
I know. But if you're one that you want to end your video, I've seen people 1 minute left in their video and they're like, well, I guess that's it. Well, people are out. They're done. Checked out.
Honestly, when there's videos like that, I'm asking, why did you even leave that part in there? Just cut that out.
Take it out.
I've done that.
We've talked about this before. I've experimented over the last week or so, last couple of weeks. I've gone back into my Videolytics and I've experimented with the editing tool in the YouTubes, and I've cut out where those dips are. Those videos are starting to take off again. No, when I say dips, I'm not talking about Lord Charlie B.
So you go into the YouTubes and do your editing to cut out like little spikes, drops.
I try to find little spots where it's about to drop here and I can figure out why. And it comes back up here and I can figure out why. I just cut that out altogether. So when you're watching the video now, you watch from here and it jumps to here. And those videos have started taking off again. I've got some where the ending drops off and it drops that viewer percentage like Full-Time Dream was saying, it goes down into the 46% range. I just cut that off. Those videos are starting to take off again because YouTube goes, oh, people are watching this whole video. And that's good for YouTube because they want you to watch and keep watching.
That's a very good point. We don't have a lot of time, but just because you've posted your video does not mean that you can't go back. Stop it. I don't know why I got to stick the tongue out. But you can always doctor on your videos. You can change thumbnails, titles, and do what Scott's talking about to make your videos more better.
We got to go, people.
That's a Southern word.
We have been here way too long. We have wandered into, I don't know what kind of territory. We're probably infringing on somebody's rights somewhere. Somebody's triggered. Someone call Karen. We must end this show.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all for coming here. Please send some videos. We need some more videos, please.